RTA Season 19 is officially upon us, and there is a newly meta unit that was not included in the bounce patch that most people were not expecting to see this season. I was, though. I was. First pick on the left-hand player side is the newly buffed Nana the Water Mage, and that is why this last pick on the right-hand player side, Mephisto the Wind Demon, is a meta unit now. It's not because he got buffed, it's not because anything having to do with him, it's just because Nana the Water Mage is being picked so often. So often, because she's fairly similar to what she was before. She's basically the same, except that she has a soul bead at the beginning of the battle. That's the only thing that she got in the buff. So at the very beginning, if the opponent is trying to snipe out one of your team members as soon as possible, she's gonna just revive them. You guys know what she does, right? I'm sure you guys know what she does. So the Wind Demon was actually countered to two different. I mean, they banned the Water Mage anyway. They were like, I don't know if this is gonna get this Wind Demon is gonna get through or not. It's kind of a forced ban. The Wind Demon is kind of a forced ban that did not get banned because the Wind Demon countered both the Dark Demon and also Nana the Water Mage in this team, and this is one of the reasons that this unit is already started to become picked and is potentially, as long as people are using Nana the Water Mage, he's potentially going to be picked even more. Speaking of Nana, we got another first pick Nana. We got another Wind Demon on the right-hand player side. Of course, we're going to see another Wind Demon. That's kind of the point. Well, one of the points. We're seeing some other stuff in this too, not just Nana and Wind Demon. So Nana stays in, Wind Demon stays in. Vertiheal gets banned. Dover gets banned. Vertiheal for the potential revenge against the Shungpung and the CR AoE and all of the AoEs, because all four of those units have AoEs. And then the Dover for the bombs. So bombs out the Wind Demon. Is this Wind Demon going to be able to survive? No, they're going to do some more damage to him. They're going to make sure he doesn't survive. So gets another stun. So that that Water Mage has been fairly commonly on Despair runes. So that's actually, I think, the only build that I've ever seen on the Water Mage is just all Despair. Always, 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 always. Not Violent, just always Despair. So let's see if that changes over time. Let's see if some people put it on Violent, but that's just what I've been noticing so far. So bans out the Demon, which means that since the Demon's passive is not active anymore, then then there's two soul beads, so Diana can keep proccing, and things are just going to come back from the dead, and then it's going to happen again, right? So at this point, it's not looking great for Diana. Diana also has a glancing hit, which means that she's not going to be able to effectively cycle in human form, and that's GG. They just wanted to make sure they went for the Wind Demon first, so they could have the full potential of the Nana soul beads, the Nana beads. Another first pick Nana. Oh no, it was back to the first pick Carnal, right? And then a third pick Nana into a Mephisto and a Pontos. Pontos gets banned. Asima gets banned. Both Mephisto and Nana make it through. So let's see what winds up happening. That outsped the Gianna. Wait a second. They didn't have a speed lead. That outsped the Gianna on Despair. That means Gianna is on Violent, I would presume. I mean, or Gianna could also be on Despair, but that was a super fast Despair Water Art Master, which they're usually on Despair. I have seen them on Swift before as well. So let's see what happens here. There is more sustain on the opponent's side, the one that we're not looking at. So it goes for Gianna, of course. Even though there's not really too much to cleanse at this point. That's going to be rough. I think that they lose this. I think that even though they have the Wind Demon, I think that it's not going to be enough because the opponent has Sustain. Opponent has the Rika, Rika's going to be absolutely deadly against that team. 2 wind units, fire unit, which Rika could basically solo all of that, and then they just don't have the Sustain that they could have had. And then she's just going to keep cycling all those bombs, all those bombs, all those bombs. I don't see how the Mephisto team comes back from this, to be honest. They're in a bad spot. Additional turn. Well, that's a good spot to come back from. Okay. Do they cycle like crazy? Oh, she didn't have it. She didn't have it. That means she's dead. That's basically GG at this point. I mean, I felt that it was GG for a while. And then 2 soul beads. So if they do actually well, never mind. I was gonna say, if they do wind up killing something, it's like, no, because the Mephisto's on there, they wouldn't come back from the dead. But Mephisto's about to be dead. Yeah, that, in my opinion, that was over a long time ago. So this next match I had to include. There's no Wind Demons, there's no Nanas, there's no whatever. We're just taking a look at some interesting different battles. So Timbo is playing around with the Dark Unicorn. Actually, he has been playing around with this. This is nothing new to him. He's been playing around with it even before the buffs. He's been playing around with it for such a long time. Also, Eladriel. So, and then a Water Werewolf as well. So this should be very interesting as to What exactly happens here? I'm very curious. They do have that 2-shot combination. Is this going to be enough? That was enough. Okay. So the Dark Unicorn could actually do some crazy stuff here. Let's see if they actually do. I mean, they do some crazy stuff when they get their turn. Are they going to go for the... I feel like they have to go for the human form. Just for that extra... Well, never mind. I think he's in a bad spot now. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to come back from this now. So, if he procs a little bit more... the opponent procs a little bit more. They just have too much damage potential here. I mean, I guess we'll see. Promise time. And that's not even dead. That's not even dead. Okay. So, he's got to get some craziness. Actually, Despair. Okay, so that's on Despair. Also gets a stun there. Very nice. So maybe this is not over. Maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe you always speak too soon. And too much. And too much. But they do still have sustain. So both teams do still have sustain. There we go. It was just going to obliterate the panda and then go from there. So... that actually, there was a little bit of a comeback there. I don't know what exactly is happening here. First pick Juno into a Fengyan Molong, and then first pick a Chao on the other side. I'm not entirely sure. Mephisto gets banned out, but I'm so confused by this. It's just such a very unorthodox pick ban phase, pick order. So, Vampire Bat, gonna go for some extra damage, some attack gauge reduction, some AoE heals with that Cadiz, and then obliterates that Chao pretty easily, actually. That was surprisingly easy. I thought that Chao was gonna take a little bit more to go down. But as soon as this Cadiz goes down, he's gonna come back up. So they wound up actually banning the Mephisto. So Nana just has free reign to do whatever she wants to do, as far as like do whatever she wants to do. She's gonna revive things. That's what she wants to do. So it's so wacky seeing the Juno first pick, man. So wacky. Okay, just going for that Diana as much as possible. Trying to go for some attack gauge reduction. I think actually Cadiz is kind of cooler than he seems. I was playing around with Cadiz on Danae's account. I did the video. You guys saw the video. You guys probably didn't see the video, but I did the video. And I was like, man, anytime I pick Cadiz, it's pretty fun to actually play with him. First pick Ciara into a Bastet and a Kali into a... Okay, so the opponent's got a double revive comp with a Ganymede to reset them, and then also the Gianna as the speed threat. Bans out the Mephisto. They have two things that are going to stop enemies from reviving, though. Two things. So they got the Rocky. So if the Mephisto gets banned, you have the Rocky, and you don't even have to worry about the Momo in this situation. So Soul Crusher and obliterates that. Can't revive. There's nothing that they can do. The Ganymede can't really reset the... What is Ganymede going to reset? The Vanessa, right? Ganymede's going to reset the Nana. Is not really going to do anything. So they're hoping to be able to actually kill with this Vanessa and maybe Nana. I don't really see that happening. And there you go. They left the Momo in. I mean, the Nana. What? Momo Nana. They left the Momo Nana in. And then they just picked two counters to it. They're like, you know, both these things are going to do a whole bunch of damage. Both of these things are going to be great against Nana and Vanessa. So I could just leave both those in and just ban out something else. And that's what happened. You just pick two counters and you leave the Nana in. Or the Momo in. Or the Momo Nana in. There is no end to the Nana and Mephisto battles, guys. There really is no end. Bans out the Fran, bans out the Mephisto. So Nana is fully free to do whatever she feels like doing. And then Nana's just going to keep reviving things over and over and over again. So they have two threats. They have the Yenhong threat. They have the Ragdoll threat. Let's see if they're actually able to kill these things and start stacking the Nana. Or if the opponent's going to be able to do enough damage to the Nana. Now, they don't necessarily have to kill the Nana. They just have to kill something. So I see a lot of people targeting the Nana specifically. If they want to target the Nana specifically, that's fine. But they don't necessarily have to target the Nana. They could kill Yenhong. She comes back, and they could just kill her again. So yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be something. She just needs to not have any soul beads. So that's just the situation there. Gets the stun on the Diana, which they were hoping, I'm sure, to not get that Diana stun, because then the Diana could have turn cycled and could have actually killed the Nana. So gets the Torrent. Not quite enough damage. That's still going to be kind of annoying. As soon as they killed the Diana, was not enough to kill Diana. If that Juno revenged... Okay, so that Diana's back up to like 60% HP now. So if that Juno revenged, or she resisted the Carnal. That would have been a different situation. So as soon as Diana is gone, that's game. I feel that's game. So because then they're just gonna, no matter what the opponent kills, they're just gonna revive it twice. It's gonna go into like late game, and at the very least it's going to go into late game. They have 2 sources of sustain. I just don't see this going in their favor now. Yeah, and they realized it too. They're like, there's 2 revives. They can't do anything about the revives anyway. So opponent on the left hand side is cleaving. Opponent on the right hand side is going for just a bunch of revives. Anti-crit. You got the ragdoll, which will increase the attack gauge every time they crit, and then you also have the light on Amusha, which is just going to do light on Amusha things, right? So defense break. Luckily they got another turn, but I don't know if that's actually going to be enough. They got the stun. Okay, the stun was actually pretty big on the Covenant. So at this point, I think that's game. Yeah, that's already game. There's nothing they're going to be able to do against this. This Momo's so brutal, man. This Momo's so brutal. So, well, I mean, they were prepared. They had the Ragdoll Kinky, right? You come in with a cleave, and, like, your opponent has a Ragdoll Kinky. It's like, Ragdoll Kinky Moment. It's like, okay, cleaves are only so effective. If you have the right counters to it, it's like, what can you really do? I love this match because I love what the last pick on the right-hand side is going to be. Something absolutely ridiculous, and makes you wonder, like, Ragdoll, Gianna, Ciara, last pick Ariel. Genius last pick. So, this should be very interesting. I really wasn't expecting it. I don't know why exactly. I mean, it's just the Ariel against the Shungpung is more what I'm questioning. Also, they don't have a ton of damage on that side. I think they just win because they have Ragdoll Gianna. I don't think that the Ariel's necessarily doing anything crazy here. But yeah, there we go. I mean, yeah, I don't really see the Ariel doing anything crazy there. Let's see if Nana can out-esport Ragdoll Gianna. Very curious, very curious. Okay, gets a few stuns. Gets a few lucky stuns. Okay. Then gets a bomb. Does the Molly have... I'm trying to pay attention to the Molly cleanse situation. Well, if Molly didn't have it, the Lulu could have had it as well. So Molly did not have it. So, that's going to take a bomb. And then they just got to get they just got to get 300 more... 300 more debuffs. And then start killing things. Okay. Those Lulus are generally ruined with very, very high resistance, though. So I feel like... anytime I would go for a Lulu with a bomb, I'm like, that's probably, like, I have to double second guess myself, I suppose, and be like, let me put a bomb on something else instead. And I think that's what they were realizing after that. They're like, Lulus are built with so super high resistance. A lot of people have Lulus built with 100% resistance. So this is actually, does the Ariel have skill 3 or no? Because Ariel could have cleansed. I mean, they have the buffs already cleansed by the Fran. But, oh my god, this is going to be a long match. Okay, did actually wind up landing it on the Lulu, and had skill 3 as well. So, skill 3 stacks those regens, also increases attack gauge, gets the stun on Fran, then gets the increased cooldown. Hold on. So, I kind of, you know, I always like to see the underdog win, so but I also kind of want to see the Ariel team win, because they're using Ariel. So... there we go, guys. You don't really need Gianna and Ragdoll to win. You just need strategy and hashtag esports and some good stuns too. Yeah, and the longer it goes, I was kind of, you know what? I was kind of rooting for both of them though, to be honest. But they did have the Molly working for them. They did have the Lulu. They had the Lulu. They had all that toxicity there. So interesting match. Interesting Ariel last pick. Interesting. I wonder if that cost them the game, though. I wonder if they picked some other things along with that instead of the Ariel. That would have been a much... I feel like that would have definitely been a much different situation instead of the Ariel last pick. So the reason that this next match is cool is because the player on the left-hand side is only using one Nat 5. Everything else is fairly free-to-play friendly. I mean, who knows about the runes? The runes are, of course, very, very challenging to obtain, but everyone's like... not everyone. A lot of people... will say to me, they're like, oh, Bagel, can you even do RTA without a whole bunch of LD5s? It's like, yes. Well, are you sure? Like, yes, you can do RTA without a whole bunch of LD5s. So this is another, this is a proof that you can do RTA without a whole bunch of LD5s. So let's see, do they get, okay, so they actually do wind up getting the Ragdoll down. Endless Desire on the Kaki, which is going to nerf the amount of damage Kaki does. So let's see. They have to try to get this damage out of the Vertiheal now. So I feel like maybe they should go after the Vertiheal on that side. Ghost Slash. Still doing some damage there, though. It wasn't like that did no damage. And Hertite is down. And that's GG. That's 2 LDs on that side versus a whole lot of things that are super easy to obtain. There was a CR there as well. But, yeah, it wasn't that crazy. Wasn't that crazy. So I want you guys to... I want the casual players that think that they need to summon all this crazy stuff. It's not about summoning all the crazy stuff. I mean, the crazy stuff helps you. But it's about playing well, and it's about also having really good runes, really good efficiency on the units, and picking the right units for the job. The next Nana and Mephisto match for the day. Opponent first picks 3 water units, then they first pick 2 wind units. That's a little... I would have mixed it up a little bit more there. So, picks out also the Dark Sylphid. Nana, sorry, Nana makes it through. Mephisto makes it through. Dark Sylphid there to count. Almost kills the Mephisto, but doesn't quite kill the Mephisto. So picks out the Dark Sylphid. This way they couldn't pick it on the enemy's side. And also will, you know, kill the Molong after he's weakened. So this would have been a very different situation if that actually would have killed the Mephisto. So, one thing that I want to mention for you guys that are considering building Mephisto or whatever is a lot of people forget about the second part of Mephisto's passive. They remember about the, oh, he stops things from coming back from the dead. But they don't remember the part of his passive. Also, he's got a 44% HP meter skill, right? But I think Mephisto actually should be runed as more of a tanky bruiser because, or generally for RTA, I mean, if you want to run him for like 300 speed, as an attack bar booster for Arena, that's a different situation, right? You can definitely do that. But for RTA, I see him as more of a bruiser because he has, for the second part of his passive, he has increases his damage output the longer the match goes with the amount of things that die on your side and on the enemy side. This is basically just, let's see if Diana does Diana things. That's what they're hoping for this match. Does Diana do Diana things or does Diana not do Diana things? The the Nana... I keep calling her Momo. The Nana definitely has the advantage. So. Because they're just going to come back from the dead anyway. So. Well, although Diana is Diana. So, Diana also has definite advantage. Gets frozen. Let it go. But yeah, the Mephisto actually gets stronger over time. The more things that die on the enemy side, the more things that die on your side. He keeps stacking. I believe it's 20% attack power. So. And then in RTA, the longer the match goes, the more attack power he gets from just the match timer going down. Oh, man. The Diana keeps getting CC'd. So, yep, that's game. That is game. GG. Another Molong and Nana first picks into where it double LDs. They do have the Isis on the field. So the Isis is actually a counter to the Nana. They're going to get that strip. They don't get everything. Isis gets stunned but then cleansed, right? So actually this is going to be really great against all this Oblivion. So that is actually because she can't get cooldown. The Nana can't get cooldown, but the Nana still can get Oblivion. So that's going to stop anything from reviving. So let's see what actually... This is beautiful, man. I think Isis is such a great unit. Isis was one of the Nat 5s, the LD 5s that I want the most in the game. So I wonder if I would have just gone for... See, I feel like I would have played that a little bit differently. No, I'm not saying my way is right. I'm just saying I would have played that a little bit differently. I always like to take the kill shots because I feel like anytime I don't take the kill shots as soon as I possibly can, I get punished for not taking the kill shots. And I'm like, yeah, I should probably take the kill shots there. So, Nana can actually be very, very nasty with those Beast Riders as well. So you bring the Nana, you bring the Vanessa, you bring the Beast Riders all together. That could be super dangerous. So let's see. I mean, this was a good start, but let's see if this actually winds up continuing, or if this Savannah can wreck. Because I think the Savannah needs to wreck the. See, I would have gone for the Nana there. I would have gone for the Nana there because then you have element advantage and they had less HP. And then you could have just dealt with the Sheng Peng and the Tian Lang with the fire boy. This seems like a meme match. This seems like a match that's like, what is actually going on here? So picks 3 unicorns. This seems like a YouTube type of thing. Okay, gets one of the unicorns banned because they had three wind units on that side. And then they ban out the attack power buff. So let's see what happens. They do still get the attack age boost from that Charlotte. And then they're just trying to do as much damage as possible. Do they actually, and then they cut in, they get the shield. Do they do enough damage with their solution with that attack power buff to actually kill here? They do not. So let's see if they, look at all that damage. Look at all that AoE reflect damage right there. Beautiful. That was super nasty. Now the Dark Unicorn is buffed. Next match, last match, it's going to be pretty fitting that we see... Oh, we see a T online too. Nana gets banned out. Still Mephisto on the board. So picks Mephisto, but also bans Nana out because she's just so toxic. Okay, so I'm assuming that they're going to go for... Well, actually, they don't even have to worry at all about Mephisto. He could just stay on the field. So they're just going for the AoE defense breaker in the Annabelle. AoE defense break and cleanse. So, yeah. Annabelle is gone. So that's basically, that's their sustain right there. They don't have to worry at all about that Mephisto. They're going for the Mephisto because he has a defense break, but that would not be their target otherwise. So at this point, I think that's GG. I mean, I would have, if they got the defense break on the Carnal, that was his name. I don't know why I kept saying Fire Guy in the other one. If they got the defense break at the Carnal, I feel like they would have gone for the Carnal first, because then Leica could basically just solo the entire match, right? So, GG. Very nice. Anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. The new meta of Mephisto and Nana. Season 19 is going to be fun. Anyway, I'll see you guys always in the next one.